Good evening, students. Today we are going to talk about growth and development, which is required in the BA BSc first semester undergraduate program, and I'm your professor from the Department of Community Science. So let's begin the presentations. So let's talk about the contents. The contents are growth, development, stages of lifespan, types of development, difference between growth and development, factors influencing growth and development. So now what's growth and development? Growth refers to quantitative study, whereas and also it refers to the size and structure. That is, we always grow from birth to the age of 18 years. And after the age of 18 years, human beings stop growing. So an example is a child grows physically as well as mentally. Whereas development on the other hand is the complete opposite of growth. That is, it refers to the qualitative changes and it is orderly, progressive and coherent. Example is a child develops in a wholesome way. That is, from birth till death, a human being develops overall, and only till death the person stops developing. And the stages of lifespan are prenatal, neonate, infancy or infant, early childhood, late childhood, adolescence, adulthood, old age, and elderly. So let's talk about what is prenatal stage. Prenatal stage is a stage where a child is in the mother's womb, that is for 9 months. And neonate is just after the birth of the baby, the child is known as a neonate, and it lasts from 0 to 14 days, that is 0 to 2 weeks. And after neonate is the infancy or infant stage, which is for 0 to 2 years. And after that is the early childhood phase, that is from 2 to 6 years. Late childhood phase is the phase where it is from 6 to 12 years. And adolescence is the 13 to 18 years. Adulthood is from 18 to the age of 60. And then we have the elderly or the old age stage, which is from 60 years and above. So, and also in adulthood we have got 3 different stages, that is early adulthood, middle adulthood and late adulthood. Early adulthood is from 18 to 25 years, middle adulthood is from 25 to 40 years, and late adulthood is from 40 to 60 years. So then we have there are different types of development in the growth and development. First is the physical development, motor development, cognitive development, emotion development, social development and language development. So let's talk about physical development. Physical development is the overall development of the human being, that is from your hands, legs and every part of the body. Motor development is divided into two different parts. It is a gross motor and the fine motor development. Gross motor development is the development where only the legs and the limbs are being affected, whereas in fine motor development is the development of the fingers, hands and everything, where that is how we learn to write, how we learn to eat, how we learn to hold things. That is fine motor development. Cognitive development is the development of the brain, that is overall that is the most important part of the brain development. Then we have the emotion development, where we get a control over our each and every emotion, that is from starting from our happiness, sadness, anger, sorrow, joy, everything. That is the emotion development. Then we have the social development. Social development is how we interact with the society as a whole, the way we talk, the way we need to respond to the various stimulations in the environment. And last but not the least is the language development. That is where how we learn to talk and also how we need to interact with people. Then we have the growth versus development. So there is always a difference between growth and development, even if we say that growth and development are two things which are interrelated, but still there is a slight difference between growth and development. First is the growth it refers to the increase in size, height and weight, whereas development is the improvement in the functioning of human processes. Then growth can be easily measured and observed, whereas development cannot be measured directly. Like we can say a child is growing, a 5-year-old child is growing in the form of the height and weight, but we cannot just say a child is developing just by looking at him or her. We have to observe the child closely to know that the child is developing. And also growth is limited, that is growth stops at the age of 18 years, whereas development, as I said earlier, is lifelong. That starts from birth and ends only when a person dies. And growth is an aspect of development, whereas development is related to maturation and learning. The more we mature and the more we learn, the more we develop. Then we have the factors influencing growth and development. So there are various factors that influence the growth and development. First is the hereditary factors. Next is the health of the parents during conception, health and care of the mother during pregnancy, birth injuries and defects, nutrition and care of the baby, environment factors during early years, medical aid provided during prenatal, intranatal and postnatal periods, cultural stimulation during early years. So now let's talk a bit about all these factors. First is the hereditary factor, which I said, that is related to our genes, and also the how is the hereditary factors. Then next is the health of the parents. Not only the health of the mother, but also the health of the father has a role to play in the growth and development. Next is the health and care of the mother, whether the mother was provided with ample care during pregnancy. That is, whether the mother got ample amount of nutrition during pregnancy. Then also if there is any birth injuries and defects of the baby, then also it will affect the growth and development of the child. Then how was the nutrition and care of the baby when the baby was born, whether the baby was provided with ample amount of nutrition or not. Then we have the environment provided during early years, that is, each and maybe the physical environment, we need to provide with proper physical environment, proper emotional environment, proper social environment, and also the overall cognitive environment. Then we have to be providing the kid with ample medical aid during the prenatal, intranatal and the postnatal periods. And last but not the least, we have the cultural stimulation that is required, very much required during the early years. So that's all for the factors. Thank you.